Hello and welcome. Today's video is going to be probably pretty simple. We are going to be changing the O-ring inside of your standard everyday fuel connector. Now I know you may be saying, look, those things, dealer, they're about 10 bucks. Aftermarket, they're like 6. You really need to be changing the O-ring. And the answer is no, you usually don't. However, let's say you're out on vacation somewhere, or you went somewhere on some long trip, you plug in your fuel line, it's spraying gas everywhere. No Evinrude dealer locally, got to order a new connector online. What do? Well, one option would just be to eliminate the connector and go hose straight to pump, but let's pretend you can't do that for whatever reason. Or, let's say, for some reason, you amassed a whole bunch of them. Now, you're not going to want to go buy all new ones. You just change the O-ring and go about your merry way. We're going to need a little holding fixture for this to make life easy for me. There we go. And just so you know, Evinrude does actually sell the O-rings for these things separately. They are in our parts and accessories catalog. Replacement O-ring for fuel connectors. 334-913. Now this book is old. They're not $1.12 anymore. They're about $2 now. But you can still get them. And they're just O-rings. But we're not going to be using factory ones. This is the side of the road repair. We're going to be using generic O-rings you can get at the hardware store. Now I bought these from McMaster because for $5 you get 100 of them. Dash number is 201. Now that isn't the exact size, but it's close enough. In preparation for this video, I went and got a generic one from the old hardware store. This is a Hillman brand, 7/16 by 1/4 by 3/32. It's a little bit too small, but it works fine. So if you're going to pull out your old O-ring, match it up close enough, it'll probably be just perfect. And if you simulate its function on the fuel connector, if it slides on and you can feel it making a pretty good seal around there, it'll work. Alright, we're zoomed in a little, so the camera's going to be a little shaky just because any slight movement from the air conditioning vents on the camera is going to shake it. But we can kind of see the O-ring right there. So all we need to do is get in there with something, push the inner ball down, and then get in there with a pick, screwdriver, whatever you have, and pry out the old O-ring. And as you can see, this one is already, well, I mean, I obviously ripped it pulling it out, but at the same time you can see it's cracking and falling apart, and this one wasn't really working that well to begin with. So then we have our ball, which acts, well, like a little ball valve. Clean it up a little bit. We get our new O-ring. I'm going to put some WD-40 on there just to help with its sealing abilities. But really, it's more to help with its seating ability, which you'll see in a moment. Now getting it in here is a little tricky. If you watch some of my repair videos previously, when you need to do a shift rod seal, getting a big O-ring inside a small hole is pretty challenging. However, in this case, it's really pretty easy. You kind of squeeze it, you taco it in there, and then you just start forcing it until it goes in. We use our little screwdriver if you want, help the sides. And we cram it right on in there. Now I'm going to push the sides in a little bit, make sure it's good and seated. Then we're going to go in through the back side and push the ball in. And I don't know if you saw that, but that forced the whole O-ring into its little inner crevice where it's supposed to go. Now I'm going to give it the old blow test. And now we have a nice good seal. Alright, this is a Taiwanese made connector, not factory. So that's how to revamp your single fuel line fuel connector. Pretty easy to do. Not much to it. Any questions, let me know. I'll see you later.